Hello, this is Heather Biederman for Liberty Librarian. How y'all doing? It's another Thursday. Whoa, it's winter. It was a really weird day today. I just gotta say, I just had some chocolate because I am needing something today. My cat's probably gonna be spazzing out on me. Just giving you a little word of warning because that dude, he is just I think he's getting cat dementia lately. I get home and I had to go into work today because that's my thing now, and he's just flipping out, man. It's just so hard when you get a cat. And here he comes, and he's just like gonna do whatever he wants to do. Don't mess with stuff, Rory. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry guys. There. Maybe I'll lay down. Lay down. Just chill, dude. No, he's not gonna chill. Or get down. That would be okay. Either way. Either way, man. You never like have things that are just outside of your control that you really wish you could make better, but there's nothing you can do. That's how I kind of feel when it comes to cats. You do the best you can, and you feed them so they don't die, and you give them all the love that you can, and yet it's like a chaotic little force of nature that will always fight you, and that's my life. I've chosen it, and I am a slave to my cats. So that's the way it goes, kids. So anyway, this week there is that Valentine's Day thing coming up on Sunday, and Valentine's Day is one of those holidays that I kind of believe is sort of a greeting card holiday. I'm Everyone's like, oh, Heather, it's like love and romance and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I like love. I love love. Love and romance is freaking awesome, right? But you need to like show people you love them every day. And so I hope that you tell the people that you love them, and you work on that. Do your best. So, and I love you guys. I'm really glad every week we get to spend time together. But do I have to buy you diamonds? I don't have enough money to buy you all diamonds, but I mean, is that what it's about? Is it about buying stuff for people or having the perfect dinner, um, giving each other sexy back rubs? I mean, what is it? What is it really? I mean, when you're a kid, you think about Valentine's Day as like at school, elementary school, you had those cute little cards there, and they're usually one sided. They're not like actual cards, unless you made them. And my favorites are always like the little Star Wars cards and that kind of thing. Something I choose you. Like how cute. But you had to think really hard about which one you give to who and what it meant. Like your favorite ones you would give to your besties, but the ones that were kind of like a little bit hot for elementary school Valentines, which really aren't. You'd go, boy, are they gonna think that they're my boyfriend now? Back rubs are always nice. I like that. I always feel like back rubs where there's nothing expected in return are like awesome, because then you're like you just feel like so relaxed. My problem is that like there's a difference between a professional massage and a romantic massage. Romantic massage usually leads to more, right? Professional massages are to like take away stress and make the pain go away, and I always pay for like 90 minutes when I get mine. I'm not like a 30-minute and done. I'm like, I want them to like almost torture me, like the deep tissue massage. I want to be like walking out like feeling like I'm in pain right away and then feel better. But romantic massage is fluffy. Oh yeah, right. And it usually is, when you're used to professional massages, I hate to tell it, guys, but it's usually not quite good enough. But let me tell you one way you can make up to this. A good foot massage, as long as they're not ticklish, is usually better than like what you could do to their back, because you're not trained. I mean, you haven't done anatomy, like these people that go through school. They usually have programs that are about 2 years long to get certified as a masseuse. So they learn a lot more than you would expect. And I know this because I worked in a school where they had a massage program, and I was one of the lucky people who you could get volunteer to get practiced on. And it was one of the only times in my life that I've had a massage from a professional, training to be professional male masseuse. And I don't know why that is, but it was awesome. Like male masseuse, like stronger hands. And it was like, all the stress goes out of your body. So back to what I was saying though, foot massage. If you do it right, you figure it out. Watch some videos on YouTube. Learn how to do it. Take your time. It's very intimate. It's very good. And weirdly, I think it's like so much better. Also, like if they type or they work with their hands a lot, like a hand massage is a hand job. Ha. No. Hands, like like you work on the muscles of the hands, and you just like, it's almost like you're holding hands. How romantic is that? Think about it. I mean, like if somebody comes up and just starts fluffing on your shoulders, it's nothing. But if you like take the time to actually learn how to do it, and spend a little more time than 5 minutes, I think women and men both appreciate it. So it doesn't have to be just the girls and the guys. I mean, just like think about like your partner and like the kind of stress that they go through, and how nice this would be. And this would be a free thing. And during the freaking pandemic, it may be impossible with people that like you just started dating, but like somebody who's been in a long-term relationship, I think it's really sweet to go, hey, I took some time to try to learn how to do this better. So that way you could sit back and just relax. You sit and put your feet up, honey. Just work on their feet, make them feel nice. I mean, how cool is that? And I just think people like to be pampered. Everybody likes it. But just do it in a way that's not like, okay, that's 5 minutes now. Take off your clothes and let's get to the sex. Nobody likes to be rushed. Just let it happen. Chill, man. You right? Okay, so that's my advice as an old married lady. Like I just think that people are they get these expectations that things have to be perfect, and perfect is overrated. How about kind of nice and sweet? I like that too. So I was thinking a lot today about Valentine's Day coming up. It isn't my most favorite holiday, but I do love chocolate. And I talked about this on the show last night for Sweet Subversives, but my new favorite thing this week is this kind of, it's like it's a no sugar added, low carb, keto friendly chocolate from Chalk Zero is the company. Oh my God, I am in love with that. And so, I get like these little squares of chocolate, and they're about 40 calories. So, not calorie free, but definitely not making my blood sugar spike and kind of wrecking the work that I've done on trying to be on a good on my diet. So you don't have to totally blow your whole like diet this weekend doing fancy dinners and eating chocolate, because there's stuff out there. So think about that. And I'm one that as an old married, I don't really go out for dinner, because I've always felt like I think my friend Bill said it's like the minor leagues for restaurants. Usually you get like people coming out to restaurants who never go out to eat or on Valentine's Day. So they have really weird expectations, and restaurants kind of hate it, and people don't tip, and it's really bad for restaurants right now. Anyway, I try to support local restaurants all the time, but I avoid it on big holidays like Valentine's Day, because honestly, you can do it better at home. I mean, if you know how to cook at all, you could like grill up some steaks, or have something really nice. And however, I like to say that we do our low key old marrieds Valentine's Day special, and we've done this for quite a few years. It's not always on Valentine's Day when we do it, but Papa Murphy's, the pizza place, the Take and Bake pizza place, if you've heard of it, they have the heart-shaped pizzas, and I actually have a picture of it somewhere. Let me show you. I can do this all at once, right? I'm going to share it. Share screen. Chrome tab. There, I think that's right. Let's see if that looks right. Yes. Oh, I know what I got to do. That's the problem. Go back, make that the slideshow, present. And then I go back. There you go. So that's what it looks like. It's the Heartbreaker pizza, Heartbaker pizza. Ha 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 ha. And you know, it's cute and it's a heart-shaped pizza and it's really cheap. So we get that, and you know, sometimes they have like the cookie stuff, and you know, like do something nice, and then we have like usually we go and we sit on the couch and watch movies together and cuddle. But here's the thing I saw. Like I found this clip art, this free art on the internet, and it's like this is not our actual date night because basically there's a wall behind our couch and you couldn't stand behind there anyway. But it's the right idea. But I like this picture because there is like they're smiling and looking at this TV, and there's a whole bunch of knives, and it's are they looking at knives together? Like, oh honey, let's get together and murder some people. Wouldn't that be nice? Like, oh love, us serial killers. Oh, it's so good we found each other. You know, that kind of thing. So there you go with that. And I also found when I was out looking at weird stuff, because you know me. Let me just find the first slide. I found some really funny Twitter things because it's really depressing to be wanting to have romance in this time of COVID and pandemics and whatnot. So I have a lot of sympathy for people, and I understand completely, you know, like how hard it must be. But, you know, move myself. There I am. So like I think that's kind of funny. Like this year, this is a guy named Nat, and I love these because they're really honest and sweet. This year, I don't have a Valentine's date due to COVID. I usually don't, but this year it's due to COVID. Thoughts and prayers. And another one that I liked. I need a Valentine's Day card that says, "Sorry, we keep almost divorcing during the pandemic." You know, lots of people have been a little too close to each other during this COVID time, and you're kind of wonder how many more divorces there are. So keep being sweet to each other, right? Um, Here's another one by Neil Brennan. Right now, a dude is trying to figure out how to fake having COVID in time for Valentine's Day. Because I hear a lot of men really hate Valentine's Day and trying to predict what their girlfriends, wives, or, you know, significant others are wanting for the holiday. And it's Grace says, my COVID vaccine is booked for the 14th of February. So, hey, at least someone will be sticking something in me this Valentine's Day. Ooh la la. I like that. This one is like really old marrieds from Rodney LaCroix. Wife says, I have to go to the store. Need anything? And he goes, I need a Valentine's Day card for you. Get something nice, but not too pricey. And wife goes, yep. So there you go. That's my Valentine's Day funnies that I thought were very cute and really weird. You know, I'm a big sucker for like people who hate Valentine's Day and making fun of it, but at the same time, because they make fun of it, they kind of show that they love it a little bit too. Because who doesn't love flowers? And like, I mean, if you're allergic to flowers, probably not. But like people being sweet to you, I like that. And do you guys remember in like high school, they'd always have these dippy things where, you know, you could give people flowers, and sometimes it was like a secret admirer flowers, and they were always carnations and like really cheap flowers. But it's like super cheap price, and it was like you get a card with it and they deliver it to the classes. So I would always know that people felt like really bad when they didn't get one because they felt like unloved or unpopular. So I would always pick all my friends, and I would like take all my money from babysitting and whatnot, and I would buy them all flowers so that way everybody at least got one flower that I knew. Because there's nothing worse than like you're watching all these popular girls in your class like get all these flowers, like oh, and you're just like, sucks. I think people, they don't like to see like love rubbed in their face. So I mean, think about that a little bit. Give your friends some love. I think friend Valentines are actually quite fun, and like I like to send really weird, disturbing stuff to my friends. So hopeless romantic, consistently overlooked. I know it. It's so hard sometimes. It's like we're all good people, and some of us are luckier at love than others, and um I don't know, like the romantic love of movies isn't real. It's not real. uh Love is real, and like caring for someone, and that sexy, like passionate thing that they show in movies, usually it fades at least some. I mean, like you can't be bonking like crazy all the time. People got to work, you got kids, you got stuff to do, you can't be bonking all the time. So, and if you are, I'm like, who gave you all the Viagra, whatever. But I think that knowing somebody's there for you if you get sick and they bring you chicken noodle soup, or gives you a foot rub every now and then. I think that's nice stuff. I like that. Or like, oh, I saw your favorite author has a book out and I picked it up for you. Oh yeah, knowing what you like. That's I think important for everybody to have at least friends or people in your life that care, and go, I care that you are existing and are around. So I think that shows love too. So it doesn't have to be like couples shit. I think that's overrated and over pushed in our society. Not everybody's paired off. Not everybody wants to. I'm gonna say, like, I met enough people that I'm just like, they're better off alone, not alone, but with friends and lots of love in their life, but it doesn't have to be married or whatever. Or they found the love of their life, and their love of their life might have died or something. It's just like you don't have to be in a relationship to be happy and loved. So, right? Okay. So one of the things, okay, I went down a real slippery slope. This is just a minute, not all the time. Just some of the time. But so I how do I even say this? I watched a trailer the other day, and I'm going to show you the trailer, even though I'm going to have to end up taking it down on YouTube. But it opened my eyes because, I'm starting to get older, and I think about, what's my life going to be like when I retire. I get retirement on the brain, and it's a ways off yet, but I think about it, and I'm sure y'all think about it sometimes. Like, what's it going to be like? Am I going to just sit there and crochet, and go, all my best years are gone. Bleh. No, I'm hoping that it's lots of fun stuff and travel and, getting to learn new things and meet people, and not working would be awesome. So I think about it. So when I saw this trailer, it is for a movie called, oh gosh, my brain just stopped. Some Kind of Heaven. And Some Kind of Heaven is actually about a retirement community in Florida near Orlando, I believe. And oh, it's about a place called the Villages, and it's over 55. So people go there to retire, and it's like there's a huge range of like the prices of houses in it, but it's blown up because there's just so many people that want to go there. Florida has no income tax, and so people go there so that way they can stretch out their Social Security. And let me tell you, South Dakota also has that, and I've been thinking about that a lot because my family lives in the Midwest, and you don't really want to go too far away. If stuff goes wrong, you want to be there. But also, I'm thinking being a snowbird wouldn't be so bad. I kind of hate winter now. I like it for about up until Christmas. And then after that, I'm like, done with it. So I could be a snowbird. But anyway, so I saw this, and it was all the boxes clicked off on me, and I watched it. So I'm gonna just show you the trailer for it, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit because I read some articles, and love is not dead if you're over 55. I'm just gonna say. And so here is the trailer for the the weird Some Kind of Heaven documentary that just came out. And you can rent this right now. So I think it's something that a lot of people are going to be more interested in because it looks really well done. So I'm going to add this to the stream and we're going to watch it together. Okay. It's just a minute.
Hi, my name's Elaine.
Hi, my name is Elaine.
Hi, my name is Elaine.
Elaine is our name.
The village is like being on vacation every day.
The Disney World for retirees.
It is like going off to college.
You come here to live. You don't come here to pass away. There is no place like this. This is Nirvana.
I'm just saying, for me, it hasn't been the fantasy land that I thought it would be. For reasons that are some are true to my own self. Oh my God. I think that when you live in the villages, you're acting the part.
Surely everybody's life is not perfect. Now that we're in the villages, Reggie's sense of reality has become even more out there.
I came down here to meet a nice-looking lady with some money that I'd be not embarrassed to be seen on the street with. You need a handyman, don't you?
I don't care.
Who am I?
You got the answer.
No, I don't.
They're in you.
Who am I?
Somebody found me out. I got in trouble with the law last night.
You're charged with possession of cocaine.
Who am I?
You make me sick.
I think I lose no matter what you do.
If you want to avoid trouble, don't come here.
There has to be more than just surviving.
It's a new awakening.
This is the last hurrah. I'm about ready to call it quits. We have too much fun down here, you know?
Oh my God. Here's Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm gonna remove her that. So anyway, I was fascinated by that the villages, and I read like so many articles about like what goes on there. They have all these clubs. There's like those cheerleaders you saw, all those ladies. They do kind of like little events, but there's like a 2-year waiting list for people to be on that. They do like what do you call it, golf cart drill teams, so they drive around like the Shriners did, and it's just crazy. I mean, it's just really crazy. And I don't know, guys. The thing that weirded me out, because like my parents are retired, and my aunts and uncles, and I have a lot of my in-laws are all retired. That's the age of like my parents, and you read these stories, and people are they're having so much sex during their retirement. It just blows my mind. They had in this article, and I think it was the one in Vox, but I'm not entirely sure. It might have been the New York Times. I don't remember exactly, but they talked about how in this documentary, like they'd talked about some of the people had what like key clubs. So if you know what that means, back in the 60s, people would get bowls of like a bowl, and then everybody throw their car keys in it, and the women would go out and sit in the car, and then the guys would uh, like go and see which car it was, and that was the woman they took home. I'm like, grandmas and grandpas are doing this? Holy moly. So, and I've heard stories during the pandemic that the older people, the retirees, are they know that they're more at risk, but they also know that their time is starting to come closer and closer to an end. So they're like, screw it. I'm going to have fun all the way to the end. And they are, and it was just fascinating. And some of them are experimenting with drugs because whatever, and it's causing some problems and weirdness because there are a lot more STDs in some of these retirement communities because they're just doing it. So I mean, so if you think that when you retire, like it's all over, it's not, but doesn't mean you have to be like you're on spring break either. And the troubling things about it that I read were their mentality is like 50s, in the 1950s and 1960s, the idealized, like this is going to be like perfect. We'll have everything we can want. We're going to be golfing and it's just beautiful. But it excludes people who are on the outside. So like people of color, that you don't see a lot of people of color living in these communities. You see like gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender not really being welcomed in the communities. I thought it was interesting to see like how everyone kind of looks the same because they all want people just like them. They don't want to make choices. They want it to be easy and all there. So I thought that was kind of neat. It's for rent right now, and I'm like waiting for it to go on like Netflix or Amazon Prime or something because I love documentaries. But that's one that I'm really eager to see now. Darren Aronofsky, I think, did the Black Swan, and he's like a really great director and producer. I think he's producing this one. So definitely, if you're an older person and you're interested in seeing like some weird marital stress stuff, it's interesting to see what's out there. And I actually went down a rabbit hole of like looking at all the stuff for that. I think, like, why not? I mean, they're going to experiment just because they're there. But I felt for that guy who lived in his van. He's trying to find a rich wife. I have this feeling that that's not the answer for him. And I've met people in my life. I worked at a place where there was a man who came in, and he was a lonely older man. He's not alive anymore, but he wanted a wife, and so he told us he went to Russia, and he was an oversharer. He told us about how he picked out his wife in a book. He thought she was pretty, and then he went to meet her and test her out, and that was the grossest thing I'd ever heard. And that she moved there, and her shortly after she moved there and they married, her mother came, and he was started to become quite miserable because I think the realization was that she wasn't in this for the long run. Why would she be? I mean, she was just grossed out by him. And I think right when that period of time went by where she could stay, then she left. And then he died not that long after that. But I'm just thinking like the things people do for love and romance, and when you're just like, just find a friend, sometimes people's ideals aren't going to ever live up to what they expect. So I went down this huge rabbit hole with that whole movie, and I'm waiting. I'm really waiting for it to come out on Netflix and or Amazon Prime or Hulu or whatever. And I think it's a good idea. And I was reading articles today about the best way to celebrate during a pandemic. If because a lot of people aren't going anywhere and they don't recommend you go anywhere. We have some restaurants open, and it's like socially distanced seating. which is always a little weird. But I mean, I don't really want people sitting right next to me anyway, so I don't care. But I'm not going out on Valentine's Day. It's just going to be a bear. But they're just like doing everything at home. And then they said a painting night class, like go paint stuff together or get each other bathrobes. And I was just like, is there something wrong with me that I think it has to not be like that, where you have to just do that? But I like flowers, and I admit this to I actually like them at work, because then people see it and you can like go, look at the pretty flowers, and I can leave them on my desk, and I like them. Also because my cats don't eat them when they're not at home. And working at home most of the time, there's no point really. So I'm kind of worried that my husband's going to get me flowers, and I'm kind of want to tell him, like, don't give me flowers, okay? The cats are going to just eat them, and I have to watch them eat them, and then the cats barf, and I clean it up. How unromantic I am. Am I a dude? Just tell me. I don't know. And that tweet that I shared earlier about the guy who's gonna say he has COVID just so he doesn't have to deal with the Valentine's Day stuff. I sympathize. I love funny cards. I love funny stuff. I love gifts that have actual meaning, not gifts for the sake of gifts. If you can find the perfect thing, it doesn't matter what day. You just give it to them. And that's the same with friends too. If I'm not really a gift person, which probably is part of it, is just more stuff. I already have too much stuff. I got to get rid of all this crap. Like, do stuff where we spend time together. That has more meaning, right? Okay. So here's the other thing. I told you about that, and oh my God, they were like telling you to get somebody a GPS watch. What? So you can track them? What the hell? I was just looking through their gift ideas, and I'm just like, oh, people are so weird. Yes, I want to track you so I know you'll never cheat on me. I'm like, ugh, people, what the hell? So there you go. I don't really understand it, but I'm the worst. This is the worst Valentine's Day show ever. I'm like, Valentine sucks. But I love chocolate. I love romantic movies. I'm a sucker for that, so I get it. I don't think that's totally realistic. I have a lot of male friends that they don't get it either. Is it just something that women want, that are the expectation, or do men buy into it too? I always kind of wonder. I like cuddles, and a good foot massage is always appreciated. So I hope that you get a little bit of love, however it is, like friend love, love. Take care of yourself, either that or take care of yourself, and have a good time with it. Why not? So anyway, I'm going to switch gears because I'm just like, Valentine's Day. And then I think on Valentine's Day, one of our favorite breweries is going to have a chocolate-covered cherry beer. So, that's the thing I'm most excited about. And so that tells you where my priorities lie. But intellectual freedom news always happens. And I saw some interesting things today. I've been actually doing an app called Pi Network for Bitcoin. And I had a friend invite me, and I've had a couple of my friends tell me, don't do it. And I'm like, I know, but I haven't put any money into it. And Bitcoin right now, one Bitcoin is worth like $46,000. So I'm not going to go out and buy a Bitcoin or even a portion of a Bitcoin or whatever. But the Pi Network stuff was intriguing to me. And you do kind of like stuff on your phone. It's an app, and you get invited by a friend, and then you like, it slowly grows, and then after a certain amount of time, if there's more people, then they bring down the rate that it loads. So I don't know if it'll ever end or if it'll ever pan out, but if it's $46,000 and I have like 500 of these, it will be amazing. I could be like, I'm retiring right now. I'm going to try to figure out how to cash it all out, but whatever. So Bitcoin, I was thinking about that because the other day, you all probably heard about this. Elon Musk, he and his Tesla company put a whole shitload of money into Bitcoin. They bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin in January. So it made the price raise up from 30,000 to 46,000, like that. So that is one of the things that makes me think about it, because I'm like, for once, I've had Bitcoin once, and then I didn't see the allure, and now I kick myself because I got rid of the Bitcoins I had, and I have no idea how to get at it. It's probably worth a lot of money and just sitting there. I'll never find it again. But this stuff I can take care of, and if it ever converts to real Bitcoin, how awesome would that be? But Elon Musk, he is messing with the system a little bit. And so he had bought $800 million worth of Bitcoin. And he's been talking about the Dogecoin, and it's kind of nuts. And he teases the market by showing like some different logos on his sites, so people go, oh, he's really getting into Bitcoin, and then they all go and speculate and buy more Bitcoin. The price goes up and up and up, and it's actually getting pretty ramped up, which makes me believe that either it's setting it up for it to go off the charts, or it's going to crash down. So I feel like it's too rocky to use as a reliable way to grow money. But if you have some, like, this is a great time. The problem is trying to figure out where it's going to cap off. And my free Bitcoin stuff is probably not going to even like come see the light of day for at least another year or two. So I don't expect to see it. And probably by the time it might be, worthless. Who knows? But, there's something nice about speculating and going, maybe it'll be awesome. So the thing that made me really excited today was I saw an article in Forbes that 2 trillion, not $2, 2 trillion banking giant BNY Mellon reveals Bitcoin and crypto plans. They are saying digital assets are the future. So this is kind of interesting because, we just saw like a few weeks ago the Robinhood stuff with GameStop and how the market can get influenced, right? And you're learning more and more about how like social media and that has an influence on the value and money that can go into stuff. I thought that was kind of interesting. So the BNY, they said this, there's an uptick in institutional interest in emerging Bitcoin and crypto asset classes. And there's a sentiment shift. It used to be like banking would not want to have anything to do with Bitcoin because they thought it was going to go away, or it's associated with illegal activities because, people use that to buy illicit items. But Bitcoin is getting more and more legitimate as time goes on, especially when you get huge companies like Tesla saying that eventually they're going to start accepting that as payment. So you could buy a Tesla car with your Bitcoin. So how amazing that could be. So the U.S. banking regulator, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, said banks could use blockchain networks, so this year, and stable coins to carry out payments and other activities. So the acceptance of it is growing and growing. So in 2019, Bitcoin Futures Exchange, BAKKT backed, revealed a partnership with BNY Mellon to custody Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies on behalf of clients. So it's getting to be more and more accepted. However, there's a big however. The new Treasury person, what is her name again? Oh, freaking A. Oh, she's Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. She says cryptocurrencies used for illicit purposes are a growing problem. So our own government, highly elected person, speaking at a financial sector innovation policy roundtable, said, and this former Federal Reserve chair warned that cyber attacks and digital currency related crimes are on the rise. So be careful with your cryptocurrency. Don't let people hack that. She said, I see the promise of these new technologies, but I also see the reality. Cryptocurrencies have been used to launder the profits of online drug traffickers, and they have been a tool to finance terrorism, she said in her opening remarks. I'm going to put a pause on that, but I also say that they don't like it because they can't track it. They can't see where your money is going, and they can't tax it. That's what they hate. They never say that, but they really hate not taxing things. So that is why. It's kind of amazing. So she referenced the Anti-Money Laundering Act passed into law by Congress last December as a part of the National Defense Authorization Act that requires U.S. government to update its anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism laws. So she is actually putting things in place to make cryptocurrency actually very difficult to use. They're hoping to turn it into just regular money. They want to enforce it. They want to regulate it and watch and see, and that way they can know who to tax. So that's what my prediction is. I believe that they're pushing for that. So during her confirmation hearing in January, Yellen told the Senate Finance Committee, that's right, that crypto use in terrorism was a particular concern of hers. So in later written remarks, she softened her tone, though, saying cryptocurrencies could be beneficial to the existing financial system as well. So I think the sentiment that they're expressing is that they want to allow it. They're not going to get rid of cryptocurrency, but they want to regulate it. So that, I think, will actually bring the cost or the value of cryptocurrency down. Especially if they put that in place. Mark my words. But the interesting thing about cryptocurrency is the minute they do that, something new will come out and they won't be able to figure out how to enforce it. The government's smart. They're huge, but they're not that fast. So it will be something new. So one of the things that they talked about, one of the worries is in North Korea, their criminals might be using or stealing cryptocurrencies to fund the nation's nuclear weapons program. So the UN said that. And federal law enforcement officials are also investigating whether or not Bitcoin, BTC, was used to fund domestic terrorism in the United States. And a now deceased French blogger sent $522,000 in Bitcoin to far-right figures who may have been present at the U.S. Capitol insurrection on January 6th. Why is he deceased? I have to look that up, because did he die of natural causes, or did they get rid of him? Hard to say, because there's proceedings going on this week, right? And I don't know if that will play into it or not. There's the crypto streaming platform DLive, a subsidiary of BitTorrent, and the Tron Foundation was used to facilitate. There's a crypto streaming platform on it, and the U.S. lawmakers are asking if this was used to facilitate donations to individuals present at the insurrection. So they are really wanting to stick their fingers in this pie so that way they can tell who is involved in cryptocurrency. They want to regulate it, and they want to stop hacking of institutions and interfering with elections. So it is on the minds of a lot of people right now. And I'm just curious, what do you guys think about it? What do you think about crypto? Do you think it's still the future? Do you think it's going to go away? Do you think something new is going to come along? It might. But if you are interested in trying it out, I do have Pi Network invites. So I would be happy if you PM me on Facebook. I would be happy to invite you, and you can try it out for yourself. It's not that much of a time commitment. I mean, basically you set it up and you look at it about once a day, and you just say, yep, my groups are mining, and then you keep mining, and then you turn it off. It takes about like 10-15 seconds a day to do that. So I figure if it turns into money, awesome. If it doesn't, don't care. So I didn't waste any money. It might be more wasting time, but I look at apps all the time anyway. If I could make money doing that someday, how awesome would that be? Especially if one that's not hopefully robbing me of my security data. Yeah, that's the big worry. But they say the legit side is that it's Stanford grads and people of felt like they have a lot of trust in that. So I haven't had too much worry about it yet. I've done a little digging on it, but if I ever feel like it's something too dangerous, I'll get rid of it. It's not worth making money if it's gonna rob me totally. But so that's that. And then the other thing I want to talk about was and I'm not gonna go into like my feelings about it, but Gina Carano on one of my favorite shows, The Mandalorian, she got canceled because she posted something that a lot of people have really bad feelings about. And where is the post? I thought it was on his. What she posted was basically comparing what your political beliefs are to back during the Nazi times. She mentioned that people would drag Jewish people out into the streets and neighbors would beat them, children would beat them. And she showed a picture of a woman being beaten, bloody nose, and her clothes being ripped off, and a child hitting her. And it was horrific. And nobody wants to see that on social media, Twitter, wherever. She compared the treatment of conservatives to being like Jewish in Nazi Germany, and people explode because racial stuff is like this line that you don't cross, and just don't bring up Nazi stuff, okay? And I'm not going to go into what I think about that. I mean, there's obvious dumb shit things she kept doing over and over again. But the thing I wanted to focus on was that, okay, she got canceled because of stuff she said. However you feel about what she said. I've read arguments and both sides are not going to listen to each other. So you're not going to, like, we're not going to talk about that because you believe what you believe, right? But the thing that interests me is in the past, somebody would make a mistake. It could be a huge mistake. It could be a little mistake. But in the past, people would go, "Oh, what a jerk," and then they would like forget about it. Here's my cat. And well, you're not getting any more food from me, man. And so like life would go on, and you go, these jerks, they just keep being rich and whatnot. But now it's you get canceled, you lose your job, you like. I think like your best bet is to not be on social media if you have opinions, because eventually they're going to get you. They're going to get me eventually for just even questioning anything that the group mentality. Group mentality is a tough thing. People, I'm gonna just move this cat. He's gonna just mess with my crap. Yeah, V-Day has not been kind. Oh, I just. They canceled her. But the interesting thing is that you get enough people on social media, these companies listen, and then they fire people. But then the reverse thing is like, so you get like two sides of the issue. And I consider this the far left and the far right. So then the far right gets pissed because they think of Gina Carano as the poster girl, right? And so then the other side gets pissed and they're like, we're going to cancel Disney, and they all like quit their Disney memberships to show that they're pissed. Everybody's canceling everything. Why can't we just have different opinions? Why does it all have to be like we have to fire people? We have to like erase them from our memory. Why can't people be different anymore? Why do we all have to be the same? And like there are freaking racist people out there. There are freaking people who are like just like crazy, like they want to, they're anti everything. If you aren't in their mindset, they would kill you for being different. And I'm just like, why can't we like be more moderate on things? Why can't we get along? Why can't we work together? Why can't we not cancel each other? That's the only thing I'm saying about it is like the whole both sides are actually doing cancel culture now. And it just, when I say that, I'm not saying like the liberal cancel culture and the conservative cancel culture. I'm calling it all cancel culture all the time. And I think that's the thing that's bugging me about it is that they think they're so different, but they're actually the same. You look at it and you go, you guys just did the same thing to each other and you're pissed about it. It's okay to be mad, but like don't stoop to the same level of people who piss you off. Take the high ground, be a better person, do that. And you know what? I don't mess with people's livelihoods. Why would you? And I think Gina Carano was great in The Mandalorian. I loved her. And it was her breakout role. And I think she was stupid for going on social media and making some of these comments. She probably needed a PR person who would hold her back. But at the same time, it may work in her advantage. Who knows? Sometimes being controversial is a good thing. But I think in this case, nobody likes Nazis. Everybody wants to punch Nazis in the face. If you even make people think you're kind of sympathetic to Nazi shit, they're going to be pissed at you. So that's where that comes from, but it doesn't mean you need to like wipe somebody off the face of the earth. And the fact that the other side is doing the same thing shows me even more that it's wrong. So I just hope if you get one thing out of this show tonight is that the ludicrous nature of cancel culture is so pervasive that both sides are doing it now. So I'm hoping that if somebody pisses you off, you just don't cancel them. You can just not support them. You can do that, but I mean, petitioning companies so that way they can go, oh, look what we did. And honestly, it doesn't really do any good if they actually are talented and whatever, because people, like certain powerful people, get canceled and then they come back anyway. It doesn't do any good. So anyway, that is where I'm going with that. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, that's enough about Gina Carano. So, I think she did stupid stuff and what she said was horrible. But I also think that both sides are kind of ridiculous. Okay, so the thing I read actually was in a magazine that surprised me. It's Teen Vogue, and it's actual library news, right? They had talked about in Los Angeles, police and libraries, actual policemen are in some of these big city libraries because they have homeless and they have people of color are using the libraries because, it's bigger cities and it's just who's using them. And so a lot of cities have contracts with local police forces to be security in public libraries. So this used to be a normal thing. But now with like the Black Lives Matter movement and people, there's a huge distrust of policemen. And we are seeing in a lot of the bigger city libraries, especially, that police are treating homeless and unemployed people with great malice. And people are almost to the point that they're afraid to go to the public library, which it should never be like that. It's a place of learning and community. It shouldn't be like that. So what they're starting to do in the Los Angeles public library system is that their budget was disproportionately prioritizing policing. And this is one of my friends, John Sesbo. He was appointed. So what I think was kind of amazing, and Facebook friends and a real person that I knew. So the writer Elaine Kahn, alongside cultural worker Justine Suzanne Jones and library researcher Megan Riley, Safe LAPL wanted to see how much the library spending was being funneled towards Los Angeles Police Department. And what they found was it was about shocked. It was the security budget grew from 1.1 million in 2013 to 10.4 million in 2020. So the Austin Public Library allocating 1.9 million. So it's hard because oh man. So I'm just looking at it. It is really hard because as a public library director, you have to really look at like safety of the people who work there. You have to look at like how are you going to do that? And a lot of academic schools, they have their campus security. So this is already something that's built into the budget, and it costs a lot of money to hire people who are trained. And I think, okay, there's two sides of this that um, I want to say, because I think this article is a little bit unfair to the library side. So, how do I say this in a nice way? I work in academics, so my experience is different than public libraries. But last year, a student went and attacked a faculty person on campus and punched them in the face and pulled a knife. It was not in my school, but in another school in our state. And it made everyone very terrified that they could get killed on campus. So there was greater interest in security. So there is, you're looking at two sides of it. You're looking at the students, you're looking at the people who use the library, and the fear that police and security instill in a lot of people of color. It's a very real thing. However, you also have to think about the people who work in the library. Often we get stalkers. We get people who get mad for things like fines and whatnot. We need protection in a way too. So finding that level, like what's an acceptable level. So I just wanted to bring to light that there is a cop-free movement for cities like in St. Louis, New York City, and Ivy League universities. And it was something that we had talked about at my last job too, because it was a bigger university library. Do we need security? And we had a student who brought a gun to campus and he killed himself. And we had an active shooter situation and everyone wasn't sure what was going on. And we felt like, would security have helped this situation or made it worse? Would we have noticed? Would it made any difference? And violence goes up. I mean, we just had somebody shoot people in a clinic the other day. So it makes you think about these things. And I think it must be one of the hardest things that any director has to go through, because you're looking at this time where we have like the George Floyd protests and people are saying defund the police. But we still kind of need police, right? So this is a hard thing for me, and I'm like wrapping my brain around it. And I actually am very sympathetic to the directors that are going through this. But check out this Teen Vogue article. It's actually quite interesting. It's very long, and it talks about people feeling like we're overinflating criminal threats, and it's targeting people of color. Lots of librarians are looking at both sides of the issue. However, I will say that it is a terrifying situation to have people come in and threaten to hurt people in the library. And this might not just be people who work there, but patrons as well. So one of the things I thought was interesting was that one of our public libraries in our area has, it shares a facility area. It's not right, the building isn't shared, but it's right next door to the cop shop is what I like to call it. So if something was going on, the police could just walk right over and help out. And I think this is like a big thing, is like, how are cops in your community perceived? In our community, you live in a community and you know the people who work there. It feels like, your neighbors. So you're not like, that cop's going to shoot me. But if it's somebody who doesn't even live in your community and they don't look like you could think like, very well, I could get shot. And I just saw the other day, somebody got shot. They're sitting in their backyard and they just happen to be wearing similar clothes to the person they were chasing, and they got shot. So, like, what is going on with police training where people are getting shot just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time? Shooting people should be the last thing that they do, and that's how I believe. But so I hope that that's something that we think about. I really would like to have less police in libraries, but I don't know how you handle it in a huge city. I don't. But what are your thoughts? It's kind of a stressful thing, and I sympathize completely with directors that have to go through that because they're looking out for everybody. So, but I really would like to not have. I would like to not have them in libraries because I think libraries are community places. But you should feel safe. There's got to be a balance, right? So, anyway, on that note, that's all my news for the day, and I'm on at 6 o'clock right now, and I gotta go and take care of dinner and all of that. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great Valentine's Day. Watch some cheesy movies, get a foot rub, give a foot rub, cuddle. If you have cats and dogs, cuddle, just have a great time and be safe and take care of yourself, and I will see you all next week. Mwah. Love you guys. Take care.